Hi, guys. It's John, the firearms instructor, and welcome to our live. We are live here from the range, and we've got a great show for you this evening. We have a little bit of what's in the range bag. We have the drill of the week. We're going to have some frequently asked questions. If you're on the live tonight, would you please comment? Tell me where you're from, and if you're watching this on a replay, you can just put replay on there. It'll help us to know who's seeing it live and who's seeing it after the fact. Helps us tremendously. Well, if you're new to the channel, my name is John Johnson. I'm the owner and operator of a firearms training facility in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida. We're on the southwest side of Florida between Naples and Tampa. We are an indoor range. We are 5 lanes. We're a firearms trainer. My whole family is. Miss Johnson, 28 years. We've been married. She's a firearms instructor, and my two boys are firearms instructors. And we are United States Concealed Carry Association instructors, and I'm an NRA instructor and a United States Concealed Carry Association instructor as well. And we are glad you are here tonight. We are going to be looking at the comments as we go here this evening. And if we will stop a couple times here and look at those comments as we work here. We're working on our set. I hope you guys like it. It's a little bit about my backside of my office. Been working really hard on it. Look, I got the pink and the blue, like everyone says you should have on YouTube, guys. So hopefully it's starting to look a little bit more like a set, not like my dirty office, which is all that side. We don't show you. I told the boys we should put two cameras up. I could show them what the mess looks like, but that's part of the deal. When you're trying to do this with a family-owned business, we appreciate you following this family-owned business through their YouTube journey. We are getting so close to the 4,000 watch hours. That 4,000 watch hours changes everything as a YouTuber goes. We're able to monetize a little bit more. We do have the super chats open this evening. If you find something that we did that's really supportive to you, you can always support our family owned business by doing a super thanks. Those are very easy to do. And we do have our memberships. Our memberships are set up there at a low cost of, I think, $2.99 starting. And that gives you guys a little bit of benefits. There's a lot of stuff we're offering on those memberships that we just haven't really explored as much as we'd like. But we've have two members right now, and we thank you for both of you guys doing that. And then as we get further along, we're going to be offering some free training classes and things like that through our members that are going to be exclusive for just them. So if you have an opportunity to join our membership, we would love to have you guys. It's pretty simple and easy. And below, they'll be able to tell you a little bit about that. So this evening, we're going to cover right off the bat. We're going to talk about our um, our drill of the week. Drill of the week is one of those things that we do every week. I try to get ourselves involved in doing a lot of different stuff. I'm trying to give you guys something you could do with the range besides blast ammo all the time. Each one of our drills are low round count drills. They give the ability to use 3 to 5 rounds and make every round count. I see a lot of people come to the range and shoot a ton of rounds, but they get nothing out of it besides bad habits. So when you have a low round count drill and you got to make every round count, it sure makes a difference when you do that. So ideally, every round counts, and we're going to show you this drill. This week's drill is, let's see if I can get that. Let's see if I can get this. Let me take my. Let me have me back to the stage. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Still learning this little group here. So the idea of this is to get you guys to. Yeah, thank you. I won't take myself off. It doesn't show it though. Yeah, it's not doing it. And no big deal. I won't show you the I won't show you the thumbnail. I'll just explain it to you. The thumbnail itself basically explained the flinching. Flinching is when you anticipate a recoil. I know we've all done this one time or another when you thought you had 5 rounds in the gun and you only had four, and you went to go shoot that fifth round and you kind of like did that shutter shake because you, what the heck? I thought I had more rounds in there. And that's called anticipation. And anticipation causes a lot of inaccuracy. So the idea of this drill is to put 5 or 6 rounds of the magazine. And at that point in time, make sure the couple of those rounds are dummy rounds. A dummy round is a round that looks like a bullet, but it has no primer, it has no overall powder. So when you go to engage that round, it's going to click off. Now, you watch this video, Mr. Johnson always sets me up to fail, and I think I passed it pretty well. I think I had a couple bobbles, but not real bad. I should have videotaped a bunch of my students that are really flinching on a regular basis to kind of see it. But this video will really help you tremendously, help you with your flinching or anticipation. Remember, when you pull the trigger, you pull the gun. When you pull the trigger and anticipate the recoil, that causes low and left a lot. So we want to try to cut that round. I had a guy today ask me, I'm shooting a lot. I'm shooting low and I'm shooting to left. And I explained to him more than anything else that most likely you are pulling the trigger and not pressing the trigger. The big question I always ask everybody is, a guy just came out, he shot 100 rounds. And I said, let me ask you something. How many of those rounds, how many of those bullets you knew were going to fire? And he kind of looked at me weird and he said, all of them. I go, yeah, that means you were pulling the trigger. If you know the gun's going to go bang, you're pulling the trigger. What you need to do is apply pressure until the weapon cuts. That's the way to press the trigger, especially a new student. Remember, every time you pick the gun up, you're picking up a habit. Make sure it's a good habit, not a bad habit. All right, so make sure you're subscribed to our channel. This is important in watching these videos because we do a couple uploads a week. We do a couple shorts a week. We do a lot of different stuff to get you involved in this. I'm gonna go right now to the comments. Let's see if I can flip over to those and look like I know what I'm doing. Mama Tasha here. There's mom. Hi, mom. Tasha's mom. I'm glad you're in. Mark J, thank you very much. Oh, look at this. My beautiful wife Heidi is on the call as well. Hi, Miss Heidi. I miss you, honey. So I'm glad you're here today. So, as we start doing these lives, if you have a comment or question or anything else like that, please don't hesitate to put it down, and we will check back on those comments as we go here. All right, so let's talk about what's in the range bag. And the reason why I did this video this week is I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what you should be carrying with you when you go to the range. And obviously, indoor ranges are a lot different than outdoor ranges, but I made this list more in line of an outdoor range because a lot of times people don't bring a lot of stuff to the indoor ranges, but you still need to bring stuff because these are things that you need. So, Johnny and I put the list together. I'm giving Johnny credit. I shouldn't do that. I put the list together and Johnny made the PowerPoint. So at the end, that's the part of it. So as we go through the list here, we're gonna talk about each thing, and yeah, you probably have an idea of what they are, but ideally, we want to make sure we have this stuff with us because there are times you're going to need it and you don't have it and you wish you did. So let's go ahead and see if I can get this up. Let's get our banner going first. Boom. Let's find our what's in the range bag banner? Boom, there we go. Look at that. Looks like I'm doing know what the heck I'm doing. And we're gonna pull this up. All right. Oh, there we go. All right, so here we are. Let's take that banner down now. Boom. All right, beautiful. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull myself off this thing. Man, let's see. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm big enough. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it. And these are firearm things you need in the range bag. This is firearms enthusiast essentials. What I keep in my range bag. I'm not sure if I really have a range bag that stores my range bag, but if I had a range bag, this is the stuff I would want to have in it. And I kind of made this list for you guys due to the fact that a lot of us come up to you all the time and ask you, "Hey, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this?" Now, obviously, we like to help out all the students and all the customers here with our little flashlights and our little wrenches, our Allen wrenches, and things like that that you need. But ideally, you should have this stuff yourself. All right, so let's go here and let's go right off the bat. Overview of what we're going to look at. We're going to look at personal protection items. We're going to look at range essentials and firearm maintenance. This is kind of the way I put the list together, and I think this list is going to help us tremendously. I identify the things of importance, and obviously, personal safety is the very first thing we need to talk about. So let's go ahead and look at the personal protection. Safety is the number one priority when it comes to firearms. So the first thing you should be talking about is your personal protection equipment. And this starts with your glasses, guys. There are so many people that come to the range that go somewhere and shoot and don't wear safety glasses. I've even caught my son Jacob once in a while not wearing glasses, and I have to get on. It's not if, it's when a piece of fragment is going to hit you, and you hopefully it doesn't hit you in the eye. The whole idea about safety glasses is protect your cornea from hot brass or hot rounds going where you want pieces of lead. There's this thing called spall, guys, and spall itself is the lead casing and the brass that breaks up into pieces shoots across the range. And sometimes it can physically hit you. I've been hit back there by it, even though we're in a range and you wouldn't think that it would travel that far, but it does. We sweep it up all the time. So safety glasses are paramount. That's the number one thing I would put you on right off the bat. Now, a lot of us are wearing glasses. I'm getting old, so I have to wear glasses myself. And your glasses themselves are impact resistant. But if you need to wear a pair of safety glasses over top of your glasses, that's fine. Always people always ask me, "Do I have to wear safety glasses if I have my own glasses on?" I don't wear a pair of safety glasses and my glasses. I wear a pair of glasses that I have to see with. And that's why I tell everybody, you have to see to shoot. So in real life terms, you need to make sure that you can see what you're shooting at, obviously, but at 2 o'clock in the morning, you have time to put your glasses on? Probably not. So you need to kind of shoot both ways, with glasses and without. Ideally, in a safety situation, you always want to make sure we're it's priority here. We give them to you. If you don't have them, you have to wear them because you only have two eyes, and it can happen very quickly to you. All right, earmuffs. Now I've got a picture here of a pair of electronic earmuffs. Do you need electronic earmuffs? The answer is no. Do electronic earmuffs uh, are better than other stuff? I would say yes. Electronics give you a lot of. It takes out all the high crack noises, but at the end, it's got very little. You can talk very softly, and you people can hear. People go, well, electronic earmuffs are expensive. They can be anywhere from 50 to $75. But in the long run, and batteries, you got to remember to bring batteries with you all the time because you forget to turn them off like we do all the time here. But ideally, the earmuffs themselves protect the high crack noise of a gunshot. Remember, you're not going to wear earmuffs in a defensive situation, but you need to protect the hair in your ears because once you lay that down, there's no longer you become very quickly can be challenged to hear. Now we're men; we're mostly having problems hearing, anyways. But my wife says I'm hard of hearing all the time, but that has to do with the volume she speaks to me. So it's selective hearing, guys. That's what it is, selective hearing. So earmuffs, eyewear, here we go. First aid kit. You don't know how many band-aids I go through here at the range on a round. Once a month, I'm replacing all the band-aids that are in my band-aid kit due to the fact that guys are always cutting themselves with firearms. I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you. I know how they do it. They don't properly hold on to the gun, but when they cut themselves or they do anything like that, and they don't have a band-aid of one in their back, so they come up front and grab one of our paper towels. out of the bathroom, bleed all over the bathroom while they're actually physically trying to stop the bleeding because they're on blood thinners or whatever it is. So, first aid kit's important. Now, the first aid kit itself, I'm not sure if you need a tactical first aid kit. I mean, it's important what kind of training you're doing and what kind of experience you have. Majority of the time, if you're in a situation, we need to stop the blood from flowing if there is a bullet hole in somebody. Tourniquets and things like that. You need to know how to learn to work all that stuff and understand all that stuff before you start passing out that information. Lip balm, lip sunscreen, soap, hand cleaners. These are all things that are important you have on your list because without this list, it becomes somewhat challenging for you to start out. We rent and let people borrow all of these earmuffs and eyewear. It's the other stuff that you don't have that you need on a regular basis. All right, let's flip over here. So I was telling you earlier about the first aid kit, and I think the first aid kit is one of those things that you can make it as big as you want or as little as you want. You could just get a band-aid can and just put band-aids in if you know you're once in a while going to have some band-aid issue. You need to know some basic first aid knowledge, and this is important for you when you get down to it because what trauma are we going to have to deal with? Obviously we need to keep the person if he's got a hole in him from bleeding out, but beyond that we need to get 911 and protection. So I just took a picture of a basic trauma kit here. There's scissors there for cutting the pants. There's a tourniquet. There's pressure bandages. There's gloves. There's knuckle band aids. There's finger band aids. There's all kinds of stuff. There's tape. These are things that you want to have on a regular basis. But it doesn't have to be a gigantic kit. They sell a bunch of stuff all over. We actually have an Amazon channel that we use, and we've got a lot of this stuff in our Amazon channel. You're looking to add a trauma kit to something like that, you can always hit our Amazon channel up through our YouTube channel and be able to pick some of this stuff up. We don't carry this stuff at our store. And obviously, if you have a store local to you that carries all this stuff, please shop local first. But if you can't find anything and you want to support our small family owned business, hit up that Amazon channel there. We get a small percentage when you shop through uh, um, our link there, so it'll help tremendously. And then now we're getting into that lip balm and sunscreen and things like that. Due to the fact that if you're training outside, many years, about 6.5 years, I worked for another company. I didn't own my own company. I had a company that allowed me to use their range, and I worked for the gun store half the day, and I trained half the day, and we had people out in the sun all day. So having that sunscreen, watch the skin cancer and things like that, and the lip balm. My lips would get so dry and things like that. So having all this stuff in your bag works in case you need it, kind of deal. These are all and then the soap and the hand cleaners. I actually watched one of my students the other day. She carries a small cleaning uh, pack of hand sanitizer with her everywhere she goes. When she gets done shooting, she pulls that out. She cleans off her earmuffs. She cleans off her hands. She cleans off her fingers and all that stuff. Because remember, guys, if you physically are getting done shooting, and you and the buddies want to go to the Hooters or whatever you want to go to, and you haven't washed your hands after you leave from shooting, you're putting lead contaminant gunshot residue on your food and then you stick it in your mouth. That's not a good way to keep your lead count down. We actually sell a product here at the store which is called lead free. And it's a soap that we have in the bathroom that we recommend everybody go in and wash their hands. We got to remind them all the time, wash your hands before you step out there because at the end of it, you don't want to have that lead residue all over you while you're drinking. That's why you can't drink in a range. Now, taking a bottle of water outdoor range is not a big deal, but when you drink inside an indoor range, you're running into the problem with that lead is in the air. So don't chew gum in an indoor range. That's I see people chewing gum all the time. You're just sucking in all the lead that's being shot in the air. Our filtration system works really well 10 times over, but there's still lead in the air, so we got to be careful of that. So the first aid kit, that's kind of one of those things. It's a must-have. It doesn't have to be gigantic. It doesn't have to be large. You can just get with a simple tin can of band-aids if you need it. But if someone's at the range and cut themselves, they're going to be happy that you have the band-aids, and you'll be happy you have them as well. All right, here we go. Personal gear. I've many times I've been out the range and someone doesn't wear a hat when they're outdoors, and we have extra hats that we have, and there's they may be getting sunburned or they having that cover wear. We here we go talking about sunscreen and somewhere medication. This is one of those things, guys. If you're allergic to bees and you're going on an outdoor range shooting thing, you better bring your EpiPen because I'm sure no one else is going to have one, and you got to make sure you have all your medication, all your drink, all your hydration, all your water, everything you need to make sure that you are personally taken care of. Because at the end of it, no one's going to have that stuff for you. You need to have that stuff for yourself. That's the key to that. The bottle of water thing is so important because you get out in the sun and sunstroke can happen very quickly in Florida. I many times I carried a big cooler with me, and when I started seeing people's temperature change or they stopped sweating, I immediately made them sit down and drink because that hydration is a big. That's no joke, really. Heidi and I went to the Bears game this weekend. My daughter-in-law surprised me with tickets to go see the Bears, and her and I forgot lotion. I say her and I forgot lotion. She packs everything. So we didn't bring lotion. So that's my fault, I'm sure. But the idea of it at the end of it is I'm so sunburned on top of my legs and the top. It would have been great if I would have been able to have some suntan lotion. She got it on one side of her face. We were so hot wearing the wrong clothes. The sun was baking us. If we'd have had some, I did have my big straw hat though. I looked good. I had my Bucks hat, and of course my wife's a Bears fan and I'm a Bucks fan, and the Bucks won, so that was kind of a fun trip. One time or another where the Bucks beat the Bears. I took the kids and my wife to a game a couple of years ago, and my wife and my oldest son Johnny are Bears fans, and Jacob and I are Bucks fans, and we did the picture at the end of the game, and we reproduced that whole uh, me me and Jake frowning and them smiling. Well, this game we ended up we reproduced that picture again with me smiling and her frowning. So go Bucks, go Bucks, go Bucks. So hopefully we're gonna have a good season. So sunscreen's important, guys. Don't ever forget it. That and hydration. All right, here's some other stuff that you need to think about in the range bag. Ammo. I mean, it seems silly, right? But I've been to ranges where people come out go to the outdoor range and not bring ammo with them, or not bring enough ammo with them. It seems silly. They're coming to a firearms training class and they bring 3 magazines full of ammo. Whoa, what? Three three magazines? You didn't bring any more? No. Well, uh, we're gonna be here an hour. Your three magazines are gonna be gone very quickly. And they'll just kind of look at me. So fortunately for them, I sold ammo out of my car as well. So ammo's important. Now this ammo could be just as much as hollow points. You could have your ammo for all your weapons. You should I wouldn't carry a thousand rounds, but enough to have the training class, definitely. Here's another one, extra magazines. If you have a weapon and you have a mm, 2 mags with it, you should have at least 4 or 5 mags with it. Makes it a lot easier when you load up 5 magazines with 5 rounds apiece than sitting there loading up 1 magazine each time, especially in an attack class or any kind of tactical class where we're doing multiple shooting and moving. Multiple magazines will help you tremendously. Another thing I used to be, I was notorious for this. I'd have a stapler. I'd have 3 staplers. I don't have one, no staples. I don't know what happened to them. They get in that bag and break all the pieces. So you should have seen me trying to take one individual staple and load it in the machine each time, trying to get staples up there. So if you're gonna get a stapler, make sure you get the staples with it and carry them with you all the time. Keep them in the package. I tend to see them break them open and leave them in the bag, and they get busted up after a while. That on top of that is duct tape or some kind of tape, some kind of thing that will help you. Because listen, if you go out to one of the outdoor ranges, guess what they don't have? They don't have staplers. They don't have extra staples. Now you might be able to borrow one from somebody out there shooting, but after a while they're not gonna be happy if you keep bringing coming out there bringing your stuff. And maybe you're out there and the board that they have, your stapler won't go through. So duct tape will help tremendously. Duct tape's a little bit waterproof as well, so you can use that to stick targets up. Targets. Here's where I we talked earlier about a couple weeks ago. I did a video in regards to cheap targets that you can get from the dollar store, and we went through all that. That's on a full video through YouTube. I would highly recommend that you pick up some 3x5 cards, some little dots, some. There's all kinds of stuff you can get, but having those targets in your bag makes it a lot easier for you. Little dot circles, things like that. Here we go, tactical marker. I don't know if you ever heard about that, but a tactical marker is just a black marker. With that black marker, you can make any kind of circle or box or triangle or X or line that you can try to be tactical with and be able to mark your area. Or when you're shooting indoor range, you can bring your target in and mark off what you've shot already. And then from there, you'll know which bullet's yours, because a lot of times people shoot one target each time. Listen, targets are free here at the range, guys. But a 3x5 card, you can replace that multiple times. Dollar store 3x5 cards. I think they're a dollar quarter now, but they're not a dollar anymore. But it was a dollar store. And last but not least is a loader. Now we recommend the Upla, Uplula, Apula. I think I said it right that time. Apula loader, and this is a great loader that will help you tremendously. Because if you get into a tactical class where you're running three, four, five, 600 rounds of ammo, and you're trying to load it with your thumbs, boy, you're gonna get hurt really bad, really, really, really quickly due to the fact that how bad that kind of hurts in your thumbs when you're trying to run. Now, keep in mind, most of the tact classes are going to shoot way more than 5 rounds. They're going to run probably 10, maybe 15. But you need to make sure you have that. This list is not everything, but it's a good list to start you with. I think we got a couple more we're going to do here. So here we go with one of the things that I tend to I used to have this problem myself until I got a little Allen wrench set and this little thing up top here. This little thing here is like a one universal all-in-one screwdriver Allen wrench. It's called a gun tool. Man, I tell you, you get to the range and you have to adjust your sights or you have to do any kind of tightening because sometimes the Allen screws go loose on a red dot, or you may have to adjust your sights on it from a distance. And of course, if you don't have an Allen wrench and you've drove all the way up there, and now all of a sudden you don't have the ability to adjust your sights, is a wasted trip. Remember, every time you're traveling with a gun to train, you need to make sure that you prepare yourself for anything that may happen, and that's an important tool to have. Allen keys, Allen wrenches, man, there are so many little things you could do with the Allen wrench. That small little toolkit, maybe a pair of pliers, maybe even some tape and things like that that can help you. And here's one that we use here a lot is a small little flashlight. You wouldn't think a flashlight, especially in an indoor range, but when you start shooting and you have to look inside something, or and it's dark in an area, you can really help. You can see what's going on. So a small little flashlight, multiple tools you can use: screwdrivers, Allen wrenches, small little toolkit, maybe a cleaning rod of some kind that could stick in your. You could keep that in your truck at least. That way, you have a nice little rod that you could use. Because sometimes when you're out there shooting your AR, the bullet gets encased in the round, and you can't get it out for some reason or another. So that would be a good thing you could do. A small little a cleaning rod of some kind as well. So toolkits are important because that little stuff like that will make all the difference in the world. You know what I haven't mentioned at all though? And I was looking at this earlier today, and I said to myself, we didn't mention a bag. Oh, we need to get some kind of range bag. Now I've seen a lot of different range bags out there, and a lot of different range bags. There's the hand range bags. There are the backpack range bags. A range bag basically is something that you can make anything. My suggestion is the backpack bags because they don't look so tactical. Besides a black bag that looks like a range bag, that's the kind of thing we want to be kind of careful of, because we don't want that put that in the back seat of our car and it looks like a range bag compared to just a backpack itself. But then when you think about what goes in the range bag, that's a lot of stuff. And that stuff is going to need to be put in a place that you can get to on a regular basis. We did mention about other stuff like Ziploc bags, gloves, oils, cleaning oils, because you could get out there and the gun can get dry on you real quick. I think I had toolkits there, but having some kind of solvent or lubricant with you on a regular basis would work tremendously for you. I'm gonna switch over to the last screen here. In conclusion, this list is of the items I would think this would help. Excuse me. Your range bag. If you're looking to build a range bag or visit Amazon stores, support our family. We would appreciate it very much. This is our Amazon link right here. So that is my list of what's in a range bag. I want to know what's in you guys' range bag. I'm gonna switch over to some of the stuff here. What would you add in the range bag if you had an opportunity? Kind of give us an idea what you're thinking as well. That would help tremendously. Um, uh, Skywalker, welcome, welcome, buddy. Um, okay. Tosh, Mike, I'm glad you're on the phone call. I'm glad you're on the live, buddy. Sorry you're at work. Big Mike, what's going on? I'm glad you're here. So, you know, th- that list is not complete. It's not end all be all list. You can make it what you want, what you need, what you want. It doesn't really matter to me. You just kind of get yourself something. We carry a lot of that stuff here at the store if you want to stop by and see it. A range bag takes time, it takes energy. Every time you think you need something, you should put it in the bag. And that'll probably help you out tremendously on a lot of that stuff. Okay, let's go here. I wanted to talk to you guys in regards to the what's coming up. What's coming up at the store here? We've got a lot of neat stuff coming up. The summer's been a little tough for us, but we do have our memberships still on sale. We have our for our local people here. Our memberships are set up at a discounted rate for the summer. If you pay for it all up front, we even discount it even more for you. So, want to get any more information about that? You can truly just text us, and we'll get you that information for you as well. We wanted to talk to you about United States Concealed Carry Association insurance. I want to make sure you get that free information there again. Let's pop this up. There we go. If you had you have the ability to scan or take a picture of that, this is the barcode from the United States Concealed Carry Association, and this will give you your free gift. This is your concealed carry gift. We always recommend it to this company. This company has a lot of benefits that you need to make sure you understand completely. Due to the fact of you need to protect yourself on a regular basis. There's a lot of stuff nowadays that people don't even realize. how much having a concealed carry license is going to affect you if you have to pull the trigger for one reason or another. And you got to have someone that's going to back you. United States Concealed Carry Association, a lot of neat little things that we add. Let me grab their brochure real quick. I wanted to make sure that we had this. I wanted to cover that one more time with you, and that'll give you. Okay, let's see here. One second. USCCA. Okay. Okay. All right. So what do they offer? They offer your bond up to $1 million. They give you 24/7 access. They give you the 24. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get this one up here. What they offer you the bond up to $1 million, 24/7 access response team. Let's see if I can make this big screen for us. There we go. It's good in all 50 states. You know you can't carry with a Florida concealed in all 50 states. There's three levels of membership. They have the gold, platinum, and elite. The platinum program is going to give you that free gift. It's going to give you the free hat. It's going to give you all the the firearm plastic training gun that you come with and all the drills that we use here. It's going to give you $2 million with limited liability, $10,000 incidental expenses, 750 a day actual lost earnings. It's going to cover all lawful self-defense acts. It has the mobile reciprocity apps, and they have a bulletproof 365-day money back guarantee. I would highly recommend you guys look at this. I gave you that little barcode that you could kind of look at and get yourself some information from them. I would highly recommend that you look at that due to the fact that you one time or another, if you ever have to use your gun in line defense, you are going to go downtown. You want to make sure you are protected. They give you some great advice when if you get in a critical defense situation, the first call you need to make is to 911. Never forget the first person to call 911 is the victim. And if you're not the victim, you could be the aggressor. And then the second call is to Delta Defense, and they're there to tell you what to say. But magically, what you want to say is, I was the victim. I'll be happy to cooperate with you when I'm in presence of my attorney. And then you stop answering any question. Never forget, guys, you just shot a gun in low light conditions. The chances of um, the flash of that gun blinding you would be very high. You just shot that weapon in a confined space. The noise of that firearm is going to just be so loud. On top of that, guys, your heart beats about 150 to 200. You just had to defend yourself in a defensive situation. Imagine what your heart rate's going to be. Should you be talking to a cop in that situation? The answer is absolutely not. Who's got your back? These companies got your back. Delta Defense LLC. Delta Defense is an organization that helps responsible gun owners, um, perhaps that may have, excuse me one second, prepare them for encounters before, during, and after a self defense incident. Having someone that's got your back is the most important thing. Never ever forget that everyone thinks it's clean. I'm gonna be there's no problems. There's a lot of situations where this could not be clean. Yesterday, Delta Defense had a video, and I shared it on my Facebook page. There was a Lyft driver who was got called to pick up two guys, and when the guy jumped in the back seat of the car, he shoved a cell phone into his back and told him to give him his money. And while he was doing that, his other buddy was trying to get him out of the car. They were trying to carjack him. Okay. Now you would think right off the bat with Castle Doctrine in Florida and everything else like that, that it would have been good. Now, he had a firearm on him, but he had the firearm in the driver's door. So when that guy opened the door up and he couldn't get his seatbelt off, that door was pushed out away from him. He could not grab his gun. In the same time, the other guy is trying to get into the front seat and take his seatbelt off, and he kept shoving this thing in the guy's back of his back. Come to find out what he was shoving in his back was a cell phone, not a firearm. Now, in the midst of all this, the United States Concealed Carry Association guy was interviewing him and said, "Well, why was the firearm in the door?" And he said, "Well, he wanted to make sure that the firearm wasn't seen by anybody, that he was picking up on a regular basis, and if he carried it on his side, they may see it." So that's why it was in the door. Well, a minute went by. The bad guy, was actually physically taking his seatbelt off, and he was able to reach the firearm. He pushed the firearm out to the guy that was outside, and the kid ran away. Then he pointed it point blank at the kid in the front seat, and the kid went out the back seat, back of the seat. And then the guy, Kevin Miskowski, said, "Well, why didn't you shoot him? Because you were in a defensive situation, right? And you would think that would have been a life or death, because he didn't know that was a cell phone that was tucked in his pants. He just thought it was something, right? Well, come to find out, the attorney, this guy had an attorney sitting with him, and McCloskey said, "Hey, wouldn't this be self-defense? Wouldn't this be Castle Doctrine? Because they were in Wisconsin, they have Castle Doctrine." And the lady said, and I quote, "No, because he's a Lyft driver and they called for a lift, you invited them in." And at that point in time, it would have been a whole nother situation for him. Now, once the guy started retreating out of the car, he was no longer a threat. Once the one guy ran away, the guy did the right thing. But the realm of terms, imagine if he'd have shot him not knowing that you invited him in being a Lyft driver. It would have been a whole nother situation for this guy. Maybe prison, I don't know. But at the end of it, he made the right decision. Everything was said and done. Only thing I would have questioned is, why was a gun in the door? Because God forbid if that door would have been open and that firearm would have been found by the bad guy, what kind of situation would they have been in that situation? So, these are the things that Delta Defense helps out tremendously. This guy was a member of Delta Defense. He was on this video talking about it. I would highly recommend, if you have the ability, to go to um, my Facebook page and watch this video, or find it through Delta Defense, United States Concealed Carry. It's a great video. It's a little long, but there are a lot of questions. You would think that it was, you know, closed, that it was a life and death situation, but it surely would have been a lot different. The cops treated him okay. They went through the whole scenario. What he did was he closed the door, drove to a safer location, called the cops, told them what he was doing, and they took him back to took him back to the area and went through the whole scenario. But imagine if he'd have shot him. Imagine if he'd have shot him. That whole thing, with that attorney said, because you invited him in, it wasn't considered Castle Doctrine. It would have been a whole nother situation. Kind of spooky if you think about it. So get an opportunity, visit Delta Defense, hit that barcode, look at the free gift from them. It is something you need to think about. This is a true insurance company, guys. You're going to have to use an insurance agent. If you'd like to learn more or sign up, you can always contact us, and we'll have our agent here contact you and get you all signed up, get you done. $35 a month, guys. You spend that much money, you lose that much money in the laundry, if you think about it. And what's it worth? It's worth your life, worth your risk, worth your family. 100%, right? Gives you $1 million with the bond, 24/7 access, $3 of membership, $2 million limited liability. That's the thing. Most of the time in Florida, it's all about civil, guys. You can shoot the bad guy in the middle of the living room, criminally be found not guilty, but still be civilly sued. And they're all their attorneys looking for is that windfall, right? And so that we want to be careful. $10,000 install expenses, $750 a day, covers all lawful self-defense acts. And here's another great thing: the mobile reciprocity app. That mobile reciprocity app is worth its weight in gold. How would you like to know every law, every regulation in every state you travel in when it comes to a firearm, without guessing, without hopefully it's right? They have a full crew that spends nothing but time updating these laws on a regular basis. If you don't have this in your wallet, you should contact us, guys. This is why we believe in it. This is why we preach it so much. It's not firearms training is one thing, protecting yourself is one thing, but protecting your family and your assets is the most important thing. And hopefully, you never have to use your firearm, but you never want to think about, should I pull the trigger? Is it going to financially break my whole family and everything else like that? Physically, mentally, and responsibly, you are responsible for everything you do with that firearm, and make sure you protect yourself, guys. All right. That's enough commercial for that. All right, let's hit the comments again. There we go. Listen outside, Skywalker. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna open up to questions. Any questions out there from anybody? Miss Natasha's mom, how are you? I'm glad you're on the live. We appreciate it very much. We went through our stuff this evening. We're about 48 minutes in. We'll give it another couple minutes here to see all of our goodbyes and everything else like that. Guys, I hope you're liking this stuff. I'm really liking it. I'm really digging it. My it drives my boys crazy because I'm always trying to do something else or get something else or make it look like everyone else's. And realistically, they keep telling me you don't have to make it like everyone else's. Boom, there I am. Too many buttons to push. Too many buttons to push. But as we go on, we're going to keep adding more. We had that special guest last week, Mrs. Uh, uh, Hillary, my future daughter-in-law. Well, she bought me Bucks tickets to the Bears Bucks game, and the Bucks won. So I say she did. Johnny and her did. I mean, we really appreciate it. It was a super surprise to us. We were really, really, really happy about that. Worked out pretty well for us. All right, let's see what we got here. Natasha's mom says she looks for it every week. I'm glad you're on the. I'm glad you're here, mom. I really am. I really am. So if you have any ideas on topics, we would really appreciate that. Now we're going to talk to people who watch this after the live. Guys, if you're on this and you're watching it after the live, we really appreciate you being here too. And we want to make sure you hit that bell, that icon, that subscribe button. And every time we upload a video, you guys will be the first to know. It surely will help us tremendously, and the algorithms are getting we're getting so close to that 4,000 watch hours. We just got over 302 videos that we've already, well, they call shorts videos too, but we have 302 uploads at this point in time, and I'm trying to get to 365 so I can say I've got a year's worth of uploads. And once we get that, that'll be kind of cool. But we're once a month, we're gonna do some kind of special guest, and we're gonna do a lot of different stuff. We'd love to get some ideas from you, what you're looking for. If you want a gun reviews or anything else like that, we surely would put it up for you. Um, if there's nothing else, I'd like to say three things to you. God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. I love you guys. Good night. Sleep tight. Until next time. Bye bye. Exit video, exit music coming up. There we go. In.